What's up, everybody? It is Ebontis here, and usually I try and stream these, so if you want to catch me over on twitch.tv/Ebontis, I do a lot of streaming, whether it's a variety, depending on if Destiny is popular, or I'm taking a little break, or sometimes the Destiny streams. I tend to do these live. I'm in the middle of installing a toilet, so this one is just going straight to YouTube. But this week at Bungie, January 27th, the big thing that they're doing is Ritual and Vanguard and Crucible, basically all your main playlists, reputations based on those. So they basically say, looking at the data for Season 15, Guardians were approaching the new Vanguard ranks differently than what our models initially assumed. Basically, like, your reputation ranks in Vanguard may feel slow, which is true, because I can tell you it's taken me a while to go through all those. Similar, they said Trials was about 30% slower than anticipated. So what they're doing for Season 16, expect increased Vanguard reputation on completion, so every one you get a little more. Activity streak amounts, so the longer you stay in the playlist, the more you get. Nightfall multipliers, which means if you do multipliers or higher difficulty, you should get more reputation towards Vanguard. And completion quality bonuses, I have to imagine if it's like platinum level rewards, hopefully give you a little bonus as well. Vanguard reputation gain should be approximately twice as fast. And if you do like high difficulty Nightfalls, could be even faster. So generally a good thing there for reputation for Vanguard, shouldn't feel quite as long. Same thing with Trials, is about 30% slower than what they anticipated. So what they're going to do, they said they added a small amount of Trials reputation at match end for every round that you won in that match. So if you win a rounds even, you're going to get a little more reputation. So really staying in there, going for those at least round wins, even if it's just the super ones, will help build that reputation, get you more of those Engrams. At the top end, each round one awards 21 reputation, up to 105 extra reputation in that match. So if you win 5 rounds, like you win the match, that's a bunch of extra reputation. And they say at the top end, that's like if you have 7 wins on your card. A little lower down on the card, you'll get a little bit less, but as you build up those basically wins on your card, you'll be getting more reputation. They said ideally speeds up the Trials reputation gain by about 50% or more for players who did not regularly reset their ticket in an attempt to go flawless. So if you sit at that 7 wins and you're still trying to get some, even though you went flawless or not, you can actually get more reputation unlocking those Engrams. So you should work through those reputation ranks definitely quicker, it feels like. Also, by the way, this is the new weapon coming back. New weapon. It's a reissued weapon. I think it almost might be from Destiny 1. It's Doctrine of Passing, if I remember correctly. I'm going to have to look it up over here on another screen. But, yeah, that is Doctrine of Passing. 100%. It is a 600 RPM auto rifle, if I remember correctly. So we will be getting... No, Doctrine of Passing is a 900. Doctrine of Passing 900. It's one of the fastest RPMs, and I do remember that for sure. So that's one of those that's actually really fun. It used to be almost a laser beam, like 900 RPM, little laser beam. If you can get some solid stability, and if we can boost the range, get a nice combo of perks, Doctrine could be a fun one to use, because if auto rifles hit right, they can do well. They're not like beast right now, but again, if you can get a 900 that just like, you know, auto rifle go burr type thing, but if it's like, if you can get that thing really tight, really accurate, this one could be a lot of fun to go for. Things that they're not changing, they are happy with the speed of Crucible reputation, and generally that one doesn't feel too bad. That's the one I've gone through first, naturally. Iron Banner gets your reputation, Trials gets your reputation. You do enough different things. They said Gambit was about 30% slower, but as Gambit is getting a revamp in Witch Queen, they want to give it a season to kind of work out the kinks and get a feel for it. Personally, I wish they would give us, like, I don't know, 10% of the 30, see how it goes. If you get a little faster reputation in Gambit, I promise you're not going to, hurt anybody's feelings, but won't know anything till the future. But again, yeah, you want to get people into Gambit, make that reputation almost a little more generous, because right now you need a reason to go in there, and I still don't know if a revamp is going to do that. We got to see what it is, what the changes are, but if it's still Gambit, I don't know if everybody loves it enough to live in there. They're also not making any current changes to activity streaks or the placement of the ritual weapon ornaments. The main reason they said they're not doing that is because with the bonus to Trials reputation and Vanguard reputation, the revamp to Gambit, the ornaments are like full reputation, you get the pursuit weapon. Second full reset, you end up getting the ornaments. Now, Crucible went at a reasonable place because they tend to play it enough. And if, you know, strikes are about 50% faster or more, it may not be as bad. So they aren't going to move those for now, but it is still one of those things I wish if you went all the way through one reputation, got the weapon. and then in that same playlist you went all the way through and got the ornament, I would love to see, like, say if you did that in Crucible first, strikes and Gambit, it might like bring the ornament back to the first reset, because I don't need the gun 3 times. Just a preference of mine. Curious your thoughts on that one, but that's just one of those little quality of life things. If you put the time in on one playlist and then you end up getting through the first, it's just an ornament. Shouldn't be like 2 full resets, but that's my opinion for every single ornament. Anyway, overall, they're going to see how things play out with regards to like all of the changes they're making. They might, you know, buff up Gambit a little more, Trials a little more, streak system, all that stuff should mostly be the same, but Vanguard and Trials should be faster for sure. More reputation and higher difficulty and more of those round wins and things for Trials. Gambit, they're going to see how the revamp feels, but we will definitely have to probably still get a little more there. I wish they'd give us a smidge, but just a personal ask. Also, one thing they said, like if there's double ranks or double rewards active, those activities will have a modifier on the launch screen to remind you. So if you're like, is it double rewards in Nightfall? Now, finally, we don't have to ask the question. You can literally go to the activity and it's going to tell you. So that's a good thing. Vanguard Ops, that's going to be your Vanguard playlist, which is actually going to be renamed. And hopefully that's referenced the same way in bounties as well. Because it's annoying where you had to go to the Vanguard Strike playlist and you couldn't get like progress on a bounty in Nightfalls. You had to do it in Vanguards. Hopefully that's clear. Battlegrounds from Season 13 are going right into the Vanguard Ops playlist, so you could play a strike, and then you could play a battleground, then a strike, and a strike, and then a battleground, strike, 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 battleground. They're just going to be in the mix. So all 4 of them are going in there. They're not going to go away. After playing through a Nightmare Hunt as well on like Hero or whatever difficulty, I wish those would go in there as well at some point, because they also feel about strike length. Maybe something they can think of in the future, because I got done doing some of those for a couple triumphs. But like the Empire Hunt, sorry, well, I don't know what if I said Nightmare Hunt. The Empire Hunts on Europa, I know they're technically like Beyond Light part of the expansion, but I feel like those would just like drop into the Vanguard Ops playlist to give you even more variety. Hopefully they do that at some point, maybe when that expansion gets old. Cross our fingers, but sooner the better. Nightfalls. So they've been slowly iterating on pressures and challenges we apply at the Nightfall difficulty. One big outlier was strike-specific modifiers with damage boosts and other effects that enhance boss attacks. While some of them were cool, who doesn't like to get yeeted by Cedia? Nobody likes to get blasted off the boss encounter's final platform. I promise you, that's not fun. We have removed these from Nightfalls starting at Hero. We also added, so I don't know if it's everything and above, but the boss like specific modifiers are going away. They added a new style of burn called Acute. So normal strike, so you get 50% extra damage incoming and outcoming. This will increase player damage taken from specific element by 50%, but also increase player damage done by 25%. So leaning into that acute burn will be beneficial for dropping champions and that type of thing. Most Nightfalls already had a 25% damage increase received modifier. This is going to go on top of that for that one elemental type. So really putting on that, basically on the chest piece, say it's like arc protection or, you know, basically the protection from a certain element is almost going to be required, because 15% increase, if it's like solar and a sniper hits you, you're just going to like, it's going to singe an eyebrow and you're going to die. So matching those elements for defense is going to be quite important. Second, they're moving the seasonal strike modifiers that we introduced in Season 15 from the Vanguard playlist to Nightfalls. These are unique buffs that boost and aid you to lean into the combat themes of the season. They are themed, for Season 16, they are themed to Glaive and Void usage. They are very much pushing the Glaive, so if you don't have that, you might be missing out, but if you're playing Witch Queen, I would imagine you're going to. And Void 3.0 is big, so that is no surprise they're going to tend to lean into Void a lot. They will rotate each week, and they're going to be on Hero, Legend, Master, so I'll just be curious. Honestly, if you're going to spend a lot of time in a Strike playlist or in Nightfalls, having more modifiers, having a little bit of a change each week, kind of makes them feel fresh, so the more Nightfalls, the better, or no more modifiers, the better, especially in Vanguard Ops. Like, that thing cannot have enough modifiers to make that thing fun, because if you live in there long enough, you're like, yep, I've done my strikes before. But they used to have like Rainbow Burn, where everything was just like, throw chaos into that playlist. Like, make it fun, make it crazy. The Vanguard Ops, like Nightfalls, I know we got specific rewards. I got to play a little tighter. But Vanguard Ops, have fun, go crazy. That's just my 2 cents. We also are going to get a couple weapons back. You're going to get the Silicone Aroma and also the Duty Bound Auto Rifle. So these are going to be kind of your Nightfall specific rewards. Also probably at Grandmaster, they're going to be Adept versions. They are both kinetic. A kinetic 600 RPM sight auto rifle, that's duty bound. And then you've got the Silicon Aroma, which is a kinetic, I think, aggressive frame. So 72 RPM sniper rifle, 2 kinetics. Not bad. I think we have enough energy weapons, actually, so I'm okay that these are kinetic in general. More kinetics are good. Hopefully we get some nice some nice perk choices for duty bound. Wasn't a bad auto rifle. I didn't love the way it fired, but if we can get some good perks, it might be worth going for. Lost sectors are going to be condensed, basically. Normally you have one that's legend and another one that's master, and they kind of chase each other in rotation. Now there's going to be one lost sector that is like the featured lost sector of the day, and you can choose either legend or master when you actually approach it. Just the little tech changes that they can actually do that in patrol now. So if you see a video from me and it's the lost sector of the day, it's probably going to be, I'll go through on Legend and I'll see what's the difference on Master. And it might be like, hey, on Master, you've got a couple more difficulty or a couple more champions here. Maybe 1 or 2 less shields exchanged for champions, but it will be the same lost sector. Now, the downfall, you won't be able to go for like boots on the Legend and chest on Master. Like you won't be able to work on 2 different things a day. But on that day, you can pick Legend or Master and you won't like miss the Legend. It'll just be that day. So it's kind of a little give and take. Like, both will give the exotic rewards, just, you know, better chance on Master. Hopefully they look at those drop rewards, because I know sometimes we have some bad luck. But generally, like, it's just one lost sector for a day, Legend, Master, both being worked on in that same day. I'm kind of okay with that, kind of simplifies things, so it's not like, if I upload a video for a Master Lost Sector guide, it could just be like, Lost Sector of the day, and just could be like the guide for both, generally. Crucible, they said, basically, they tried to increase respawn times to allow you not to get stomped by a super that already killed you on one side of the map and still kill you on the other. Looking at their data, basically it didn't help. They reverted those a few days ago. They changed it back to the previous respawn times because the data they saw was not really affecting anything good. So they took those away, and they're going to work on basically making this change in another way. Overall, not too much. HDR, there's a lot of technical stuff in here. If you have an HDR monitor, which I finally got one for the first time ever. I got a new monitor a couple of months ago, and it's been amazing, and I love it. HDR really does kind of make things pop quite a bit more, depending on the level of your HDR. But you can now use it in windowed mode. Like, I use windowed full screen, so I can use all of my different monitors that I have, so that'll be nice. So I don't always have to just, like, commit full screen and stay in the window without alt-tabbing, which also helps with Battleeye, because I know if you go full screen and alt-tab too much, that freaks out. Screenshots, HDR, like screenshots must be taken using the in-game feature. HDR screenshots will be tone mapped to SDR and saved as lossless PNG files. Not bad. Overall, just general HDR improvements. Also, an update to the UI and calibration settings, and this is also for all platforms. So if you have HDR options, your TV sees it, your Xbox sees it, check the HDR settings. They might be getting a little better, and hopefully they will look even fancier and hopefully a little easier to use, especially in like windowed full screen. Bruno is their new community manager for both the Southern Europe and Latin America. So probably picture, I'm guessing Southern Europe could be considered like France, Spain, Italy, Portugal, anything along that southern run, plus Latin America. So shout out to Bruno. Welcome. Awesome to see more community managers, especially internationally as the game grows to be on a more international stage. Nice to see they've got somebody who can go to for that, as opposed to, you know, some people, it helps when somebody speaks your language, and apparently this guy will do so. So, hola mundo, hello world. That's very cool. Nice to see them growing their community team as well. They also made an update to security protocols, basically. There were some programs, there were 68 players that had been banned by using the Process Hacker, which, looking up Process Hacker on Google, it apparently is like a, basically just a hardware tool. It's not like an actual thing that's going to break the game. It's just an advanced task manager, helps you with certain general tool. It's like, it should be safe, but people got banned for that one. They are no longer, so that's good. But generally, it's like Battleeye has been a lot of a success, helped them with those things. And generally, they're just going to keep working on improving. I will personally say, cheating is something I've heard about next to hardly ever at this point, after Battleeye got introduced this season. So positive win for whatever Battleeye is doing. I would say that's generally a positive. Also, for the player support team, Bungie name. Since the Bungie name feature went live, players have been asking when they can change their names. They're investigating a way for players to change their Bungie name in a feature update and are currently targeting a date close to the Witchqueen launch. So if you have a Bungie name, or if you're Guardian 4758 for whatever reason, you didn't make a good one or one that wasn't approved, they're working on getting to where you can change the Bungie name. Also, make sure you claim your rewards. Bungie rewards, season pass items. I put some of this in my Witch Queen prep guide. All of your, like, Vanguard, all of your reputation, like Vanguard, Crucible, Zavala, season vendors, gunsmith, all of those things, make sure you claim every engram that you can, because those are going to get wiped clean. Obviously, your reputation is going to start over. No engrams will stay. So pick them all up. Those are gone. If you want to leave like 1 or 2 to see if they go away, but don't leave like 50, may as well pick those up. And then make sure, you know, seasonal rewards, season titles, go to the Bungie store if you want to get anything like that. Check it all. That's what's going on. There's a lot of things leaving. So, and again, some of you guys don't believe me that the Etheric Spirals, the Tangled Shore destination material, that is getting deprecated when Witch Queen launches. It's not staying over for another season like they previously did. It's gone. So that's why I put up those videos to spend it. Everything else pretty much covers it. You got videos and art. Obviously, check out the art. There's some really cool ones. I wanted to shout out this one as well. Farian, he's an awesome artist, but he did this cool like golden gun in front of Savathun. Shout out to him. Any of these artists, follow him on Twitter. There's always cool art in the Destiny community. Basically, we are less than a month away, and we're going to go meet Savathun. So that basically does wrap this thing up. We are going to be talking about these changes and just kind of everything going on with the world of Destiny tonight on the podcast right here on YouTube. It will be 7 p.m. Eastern. It's just Lord Cognito, Ty Guy Travis, and myself. No guest tonight, but come hang out with us around the campfire. Again, 7 p.m. Eastern. Should be a fun chat. Just kind of catching up with everything that's going on in the world of Destiny and also video games. I will see you guys there. If you enjoyed the video, drop a like below. Leave a comment. If you have a thought or if you have a question for the podcast, drop that in the comment below. I'll see how many of those that we can actually get to. Always enjoy questions from the community. If you want to find me on Twitter, it's Ebontis, twitch.tv Ebontis, right here on YouTube. If you haven't subbed yet, hit that subscribe button, hit the alert bell, and if you want to support me directly, you can join the channel as a member for those emotes for live streams and comments, and also you can find my Patreon below if you want to support me that way. Thank you all. Have a good one. I'll see you soon.